GM, GM. So today, on trade of the day, I want to deep dive into Bitcoin low time frames because I think we're going to have a run for 50K here, as it just seems to be super strong. And even this morning, when price grinded down and sort of consolidated and sold off, it had an attempt to drop off, got bought back up. Nice reversal on that 1 hour. So it seems like on the low time frames, it wants to at least attack the highs. Again, like I said in daily levels, it doesn't mean that it can't go to the highs, top there, and push back or pull back, sorry. But I want to look into each of the exchanges, Binance, um, Bybit, and OKX predominantly, and get onto the lower time frames because these guys were shorting all the way up and getting squeezed out. As you can see, most of the run up on Binance, you had neutral or below neutral funding as price was going higher and higher and higher. Each time open interest was going up, it was getting squeezed out, right? As price was grinding up, open interest was coming down, getting squeezed out, price and spiking up, OI down. So clearly short squeezed up to the top. But we've now had this big increase of open interest since these lows here. So to me, I'm looking at a couple of things like on Binance, we had this spike up here of 4,000, so about 4,000 contracts. And since we're at about 48K, that's about 160 million, is it? 192 million. Just calculate there, 192 million. And what was price doing at the same time? What was CVD doing? So CVD was broadly flat, if not down, while open interest was rising. So it wasn't like leverage longs chasing in. There's definitely some shorting going on here. And price was down, but open interest kept climbing. So that seems like a bit of shorts piling up, as well as there's always longs involved here. If open interest rises, there's longs and shorts. But it seems like there's still some shorting going on because each time we pull back right here, we had a pullback, price came down. So did CVD, meaning there was net selling on the market side, on the taker side. Yet, open interest was rising. It just seems like there's obviously, again, to caution with this, there's obviously always longs building up, but it does seem like shorts keep trying to re-short this, and they might just be completely wrong. And this is where the best bet to take is that they are wrong, because your downside risk is limited. Right? If you're long in these areas, day trading or short-term trading, you can define your risk quite tightly. You can say at one point, if this is correct and we're squeezing, that low shouldn't get taken. And then even if it does come back down and holds and comes back up, you can have a second stab at it. And that's like how I would normally play it. I would take two stabs at it. Because if it is a proper short squeeze, it won't come back down here. If it's actually a short squeeze, it won't come back down there. So you can define your risk quite tightly. And if you're right, and all these, at least the Binance shorts are way offside, you could see a big move. So obviously Bybit got squeezed out loads on the way up. And then have they been refilling shorts here? Right, you've got a big spike up in open interest, again, as price is pretty much sideways and down. And the biggest tell there is that as it literally dropped into what should have been a stop out for longs, open interest spiked and rose up. What happened? We grinded up and the shorts got squeezed out. The open interest got taken out. Now, since then, Bybit, as price has gone sideways, open interest has risen, CVD kind of sideways. So I would say there's probably slightly more longs coming in on Bybit than there is on Binance. Binance is a lot more OI though, so Binance is probably on balance got more of an effect on the market there. And OKX, again, so since this low end here, open interest spiking up as price declining, spike up of price pushing, open interest staying flat, and then OI keeps rising as price goes sideways. So I would say on balance, there's obviously always going to be some longs coming in here. As you can see, the funding rate has risen. The CVD has been rising on OKX. So we're certainly not at this super early part where it was quite clearly a short squeeze. But I still think there's a lot of shorts offside here. As you can see by the constant just positive reactions by Bitcoin to any of these moves. So it's very interesting. And like I said on daily levels, I think Bitcoin itself is strong. Whether altcoins are a bit toppy or looking too high or whatever they're doing, I don't know. Altcoins are a different game, but it just seems to me like Bitcoin is in one of these big, strong squeezes, and I think that we're about to see probably an attempt here at 49K. So keep an eye on it. Could be fireworks today. GM, GM, GM.